first day of the Prabhupada Marathon for this year. Therefore today, instead of the Srimad Bhagavatam class, I'm going to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a very nice dialogue that took place between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. And this dialogue conveys the importance of Samkirtan or book distribution. And to succeed on the spiritual path, we need the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, instead of Jai Radha Madhav, we'll do Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So as we said, instead of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have taken a verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita for discussion today. Haridas, Haridas, Kali Kale, Kali Kale, Yavana, Yavana, Apara, Apara, Go Brahmane, Hinsa, Hinsa, Kare, Kare, Maha, Durachara, Haridas Kali Kale, Yavana, Para, Go Brahmane, Hinsa, Kare, Maha, Durachara, Haridas Kali Kale Yavna Para, Go Brahmane Hinsa Kare Mahadurachara, Haridas Kali Kale Yavna Para, Go Brahmane Hinsa Kare Mahadurachara. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshur Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamlan Shri Gurun Vaishnavanascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tham Sajevam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nitamshcha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nidam Radha Shiva Shri Gaur Bhaktina Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Haridas Kali Kale Yavana Para Go Brahmana Hinsa Kare Mahadurachara. So this verse is being spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking this verse to the Namacharya devotee Haridas Thakur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had very great regard for Haridas Thakur. So every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come to visit Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur would not enter into the Jagannath Puri temple because it is an age-old tradition that if you're not born in a Hindu tradition family, you can't enter the Jagannath Puri temple. Prabhupada was vigorously opposed to this principle. So Haridas Thakur decided that he will not try to enter the Jagannath Puri temple, but nearby he was always chanting the holy names of the Lord 300,000 times a day. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would every day come and visit him. So in this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is displaying his anxiety for the liberation of the conditioned souls. First point Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes that people in Kali Yuga are bereft of Vedic culture. They are killing cows and they are killing Brahmanical culture. Therefore they are called Yavanas. So this is the definition of a Yavana. A Yavana or a Mleccha is one who doesn't care for the Vedic culture, which is nothing but the teachings of the Supreme Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Haridas Thakur, how will these Yavanas be saved? I do not know how they will be saved. This is why I'm in great anxiety. We just sang Narottam Das Thakur's famous offering of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Daya Koramore. So in that, Narottam Das Thakur says, Patit Pavan Hetu Tava Avatara. You have appeared just to reclaim the fallen souls of Kali Yuga, the Yavanas and Mlecchas, the most fallen. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna are in great anxiety at seeing the Yavanas rebel and stay in the material world by defying the laws of God. So when Haridas Thakur heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's great anxiety, he became very, very concerned. Why? Because this is the nature of a devotee. A devotee is always anxious to relieve the anxiety of the Lord and the spiritual master. So service to the spiritual master, service to the Lord means finding out what is that instruction which is the dearmost to them. So Haridas Thakur, when he saw the anxiety of the Lord, he said, Haridas kahe, Prabhu chinta na karya, yavanena samsara dekhi dukha na bhavya. My dear Lord, please do not be in anxiety. We have a plan by which these yavanas can be saved. And what was that plan that Haridas Thakur had? What's that plan?
Chanting the code of name.
Haridas Thakur said, Haram, balikaye nama bhase. By taking to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, offenseless chanting, these yavanas will be saved from the onslaughts of birth and death. So this book distribution marathon, this book distribution program which Prabhupada started, was Prabhupada's transcendental trick to get people to chant Hare Krishna. After all, the Acharya's mission is to think of ways how people can go back to God. First, we have to understand the philosophy, why we emphasize book distribution, why we emphasize preaching. That philosophy you can understand in this dialogue between Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the philosophy that we understand has to be translated into practice. Just like we understand the philosophy, sense enjoyment is bad. So we must practice it and abstain from sense enjoyment. We tell people to take the chanting of the holy names of Krishna as a means of developing love of God. So we practically chant the holy names of the Lord to demonstrate to others the importance of the chanting. In other words, we preach by example. When you preach by example, it has the greatest potency. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita states that a devotee, by his behavior, must exhibit the meaning of religious principles. There are two types of devotees. One is those who are concerned about their own liberation, and the others are those who are concerned about everybody else's welfare also. Those who are interested only in their own liberation are known as Bhajananandi devotees. And those who are interested in their own plus other people's welfare are known as Goshtanandi bhaktas. So those in the disciplic succession of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are Goshtanandi devotees. In India, you'll find many people in Vrindavan who are Bhajananandis. They just stay in their rooms all day and do bhajan. But the Goshtanandi, he does bhajan, plus he also makes others do bhajan. So the mood of Goshtanandi was exhibited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. There's a reason why Prabhupada emphasized preaching, because this was the tradition established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A genuine Acharya does not concoct, but rather just repeat what he has heard from his Guru. As Narottam Das Thakur says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared to save the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. So people even 500 years ago were beginning to deviate from the spiritual path. It is not that only in 20th century Russia are people deviating from the spiritual path. That is why even when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on the planet, he was sending Nityananda and all his associates to go house to house and preach what? Jai Dakotaya Kau Krishna Upadesh. Preach to everyone the glories of the holy name. Therefore we read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita how so many associates of the Lord, they were constantly preaching, going house to house, even if they had to face difficulties. We should not forget that it was during an attempt by Nityananda Prabhu to carry out the orders of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he was attacked by Jagai and Madai. Nityananda Prabhu had a desire to always stay in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he understood that it is also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire that he go and preach. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada explains two reasons why a devotee preaches. One is to establish the importance of devotional service. And the other reason is to destroy the nonsense theories that are existing. So the devotee preaches to destroy the nonsense theories. And one of the nonsense theories that is in existence is the theory that sense enjoyment is the goal of life. So, Nityananda during his preaching endeavor was attacked by Jagai and Madai, but still he did not get discouraged. He was attacked, bleeding. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to kill him with the Sudarshan Chakra, but killed them with the Sudarshan Chakra, but Nityananda Prabhu stopped them. Nityananda Prabhu told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is symbolic of what to expect in Kali Yuga. But because Nityananda Prabhu was compassionate and determined to save Jagai Madai, by his association, by his tolerance and humility, they got so moved that they gave up their sinful activities and became devotees of the Lord. Actually, they were born in Brahminical family. They were devotees at birth. But then they fell in bad association and got contaminated. Just like rainwater, when it is falling from the clouds, it is pure. But when it hits the earth, it becomes muddy. So similarly, the living entity, after he comes in contact with the material environment, he becomes contaminated. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, cultivating also, emphasized this activity of book distribution and preaching because this was the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never instructed his associates to do book distribution because there was no printing industry at that time. So people could just verbally go and give the message. But by the time Thakur Bhakti Vinod was on this planet, the printing industry had developed. So therefore we say that Thakur Bhakti Vinod was the first great acharya who started global book distribution. You devotees are only doing book distribution in Moscow and in Russia. But Thakur Bhakti Vinod sitting in Orissa, he was sending books all over the world. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur took that mood of Thakur Bhakti Vinod and he would send his disciples out to go and do book distribution also. And it was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur who emphasized to Prabhupada the importance of book distribution. In fact, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur drew a picture of a mridanga and he said, when you have money, print and distribute my books. Why? Because this is the big mridanga. Its sound can travel to unlimited length. And even if you have a mridanga, best mridanga, it breaks after some time. But this mridanga stays for years and years. And this mridanga has the potency of completely cleansing the material desires from the heart. Therefore, Prabhupada said, not only is this activity of book printing and book distribution Brihat Mridanga, but it is also Brihat Kirtana. Brihat Kirtan! Because when you go on Harinam, there's a limit to the distance where the sound will travel. But when you distribute a book, it may travel 20,000 miles before somebody reads it. So, Prabhupada has said again and again, which I'm sure all you devotees have heard again and again, how if you want to please me, distribute my books. Of course, the spiritual master is pleased by even a small bit of service that one may do. But an advanced devotee always wants to know what will please him the most. And that is this activity of preaching, exemplified through the medium of book distribution. So the devotees in ISKCON are all convinced about the importance of book distribution. And at least in your country, as I've always said, the book distribution fever is quite strong. We emphasize book distribution. Why? Because it's the highest welfare activity. We emphasize book distribution because this can save people from going to hell. We emphasize book distribution. Why? Because it reveals the path of real happiness. We emphasize book distribution. Why? Because it enables us to understand what is right, what is wrong. Now, Krishna is always dependent upon his devotees. Just like on the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna could easily have killed all the soldiers and made the Pandavas victorious. But did Krishna do that? Did he do that? No, he didn't do it. He wanted Arjuna to fight. He wanted Arjuna to make the effort. He said, you become my instrument. So similarly, we all have to make the endeavor and become the instruments by which these conditioned souls can go back to God. And what was the key instruction that Krishna gave to Arjuna? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam manasma yuddhacha. With your mind dedicated to me, fight for me. So, with a mind focused on Krishna, we have to engage in our duties. So when we go on some kirtan, our mind should always be focused on the instructions of the spiritual master Prabhupada and Krishna. And if the mind is so focused, then we will gain the spiritual strength. We will maintain the enthusiasm to save the conditioned soul. Every conditioned soul that you see, you should think, if I don't give him this book now, if I don't give him Krishna consciousness now, he may never get a chance again. Why? Because anyone can die at any time. There is danger at every step. So therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, without discrimination, we should preach. Just like the Panchatattva. What did the Panchatattva do? The Panchatattva, when they appeared on the planet, they broke open the seal of a box in which there was one very valuable commodity. Who knows what was that commodity in that box? Love of Godhead. That storehouse contained love of God, and the Panchatattvas took it out and freely distributed it to everyone. So this is exactly what Prabhupada has done. He has taken the philosophy how to develop love of God and put them in his books. And now you devotees have to distribute this philosophy to everyone. And whoever reads these books, what will happen? What will happen? Who knows?
He'll become a devotee.
He'll become free from the cycle of birth and death. He will develop love of God. And as you begin to develop love of God, your so-called love for activities of sense enjoyment will automatically diminish. So, Krishna reciprocates based on our effort. Ye ethamam prapadayante. All of them as they surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. So, based on our endeavor, Krishna will reciprocate. And as Prabhupada said, purity is a force. Based on our purity, Krishna will reciprocate. And purity is the result of execution of sadhana, especially the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So, Prabhupada has given us so many transcendental activities by which we can constantly engage the mind and senses in service to the Lord. But if the devotees are enthusiastic, if they're practicing purity, then the results are guaranteed. There is no material impediment to this Sankirtan activity. Just like when Prabhupada was on the planet, some people started spreading the rumor that very soon there will be a war and people will stop buying these books. And book distribution is going to come to a stop. So one devotee wrote a letter to Prabhupada and said, this is what some devotees are talking. Is this true? Prabhupada said, this is nonsense. Book distribution will never stop and there will be no impediment to our preaching activity. So, through this activity of book distribution, not only are we making conditioned souls fortunate, we're giving Prabhupada and the great acharyas an opportunity to also preach. All of you have practically seen that no material arrangement can solve the basic problems of life. Material adjustments are being made, but there is no solution. What is needed is a spiritual adjustment. But the need for spiritual adjustment will only be understood if people read the books. And they will only be able to read the books if we distribute the books. If we all sit in our temple, then how will people come to know about these books? Just like if Prabhupada would just have stayed in Vrindavan and not come to the West, would all of us have been together today? No, we would not have been together. In the old age, Prabhupada went through so many hardships. Why? Just to leave behind knowledge by which we could benefit. He personally saw on Prabhupada's last months on this planet how he was so sick. His whole body was sick, burning inside. The Ayurvedic doctor said he could not even sit or hold the microphone. But in spite of all these difficulties, Prabhupada still went on translating these books because he was concerned about the future of humanity, because he wanted to execute the orders of his Guru Maharaj. So the instruction of the spiritual master should be the guiding principle for one's life. And Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the Krishna conscious movement, has given us one instruction which nobody can compromise. And this instruction will be the guiding spirit for the next 10,000 years that ISKCON stays on the planet. And that instruction is, distribute my books. So, there is no doubt that all devotees are convinced about the value of the knowledge in Prabhupada's book. Now is the opportunity to make day and night one and demonstrate this. So today is the first day of the Prabhupada Marathon. In ISKCON, there are so many marathons. And in your country, there are so many book distribution marathons also. But one marathon, which is the principal book distribution marathon of the year, is the Prabhupada Marathon in December. This is the marathon in which even the lazy devotees want to come out and participate. Even the lazy devotees come and say, Prabhu, Maharaj, please give me an opportunity to distribute books. I just came from India where we organized a book distribution marathon in different temples, and everybody wanted to go out, everyone. But in the other months, it's not so easy to get everybody out. So this is the marathon of the marathon. This is the king of marathon. Just like Krishna says, Raja Vidya Raja Guyam, this knowledge is the king of education. The entire Vedas contain education. But the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is specifically the most important, the essence of it. Therefore, Krishna says this is the king of knowledge. So similarly, there are many marathons, but the Prabhupada Marathon in December is the king of marathon. And what is the marathon? Prabhupada explained in a lecture in Los Angeles. He said, marathon means where you forget your sleeping and eating. That means you reduce it. You make your day and night as one. And where your total obsession is how to achieve our goal. Actually, December is significant from one other point. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna to Arjuna in the month of December. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken this year. It is, when is Ekadasi? December 6th? Yeah. Okay. So this year, Gita Jayanti. Gita Jayanti is the day the Gita was spoken by Krishna to Arjuna. That is on December 6th. So December is the month where our devotees all over the world going on an all-out marathon. But December is also the month in which Krishna spoke this great philosophy to Arjuna. So the more enthusiasm we show, the greater are the results. We have seen that material impediment, material economy has no effect on the enthusiasm of devotees. So please keep meditating on the importance of book distribution. If we were to do a survey of all the devotees present in this room, 99% would say they came to this movement because of book distribution. About 2 weeks ago, I had a very positive experience on this point. I was doing a program at a suburb in Bombay, and the local person who was very enthusiastic and the leader there, so I asked him, how did he come to Krishna consciousness? He said in 1984 December, your vans from the temple had come to do book distribution. He bought the book in 1984. And for 6 years, he did not open the book. It was lying in his cupboard and gathering dust. Then one day in 1990, he said, I've had this book for 6 years. Let me see what is inside. First he read 1 page, then few more pages, then the whole book. Then he came to the temple. Then he started associating with devotees. And now he's become a fired up preacher. He's a grihastha, he does a job, but he's also preaching. So this is just one example. There are thousands of examples. We could produce a whole encyclopedia with thousands of examples on this theme. So book distribution, Prabhupada said, as long as book distribution goes on, I will never die. So we never say the Vaishnava has died. Do we ever say Vyasadeva is dead? No. Vyasadeva is still living and he's living in his instructions. So are all the other acharyas. So is Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, as long as book distribution goes on, I will never die. Because when you distribute these books, you give Prabhupada an entrance to preach to the conditioned soul, deeply entangled in sense enjoyment. So when we devotees go out on book distribution marathons and do this, then we're giving Prabhupada an entry into everyone's house, everyone's heart. And therefore, we should, with conviction and heart, participate in this marathon. I understand that almost every devotee is participating in this marathon. And even the one good thing in the marathons in your country is even the friends of Krishna who regularly come to the temple participate in these marathons. So last year, the Moscow temple was number 1 in the worldwide marathon. So I'm sure all the devotees would want their Lordship Shri Gaurnitai's team to be victorious again. But you're going to face stiff competition from devotees in Leningrad and Kiev, and also devotees in other countries like Bombay and Mayapur, and also London, and I'm sure Switzerland, Germany, all those yatras, they are very fired up also. There's going to be spiritual competition amongst the various teams in ISKCON. So if you want the Shri Gaurnitai team to be victorious again, all the devotees will have to make an all-out effort till the end of the marathon. And if you make an all-out effort, then you will do better than even last year. Prabhupada used to say double it. It means if in 1 year you've distributed 100 books, next year you must do 200 books. So every devotee should endeavor so that he can hope to double his performance of last year. So if you flood this place with Prabhupada's books, then everybody in this country will become happy. Right now they're all unhappy, complaining, bitter. They need Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,